If it's one thing entitled people should learn, it's what hill to die on. Story 1 from the Entitled People subreddit is titled, "He Got Arrested Over a Receipt." In my 20s, I worked for a very popular theme park in Florida. I worked quick service food at a resort one year. One day, I was placed in my favorite position, pizza back. Basically, I was responsible for making pizza, baked ziti's, and breadsticks. The resort guests could call in special pizza orders, and guests could order pizza at the counter as well. Don't ask me why, but I rocked at this position. I was very quick and consistent, so I was often placed back there to my delight, as there was air conditioning and a walk-in fridge. Anyone who's done kitchen work knows how most professional kitchens feel as though they're bordering on hell's territory. I'm in the back, keeping a steady pace, when a tall man with light brown hair and a beer gut starts arguing with my coworker C up front at Pizza Front. The man claims he's been waiting for his pizza for over 40 minutes. When a guest orders a pizza, they're given a copy of the order and a wireless pager that will go off when their pizza is ready. Since the pizza is the most expensive thing on the menu, and there have been people attempting to claim multiple, it became policy to have the guest pay for the pizza first. Once the pager went off, bring it back with the receipt so we can mark it and then receive their pizza. The receipt also has the time on it. C asks to see the man's receipt to check the time. He gets angry and yells at her. He screams that he wants his dang pizza. C became flustered and comes back there asking me where his pizza was. I told her no one waits 40 minutes when I'm back there, and that his pizza would be ready when it's ready. She refused to go back up there because he was so rude, so I went instead. I asked him politely for his receipt as it had a timestamp. "Sir, I apologize for the wait. May I see your receipt, please?"
No, why do I have to show you my receipt?
"Sir, it's our policy to ask every guest for a receipt before they receive their pizza."
That's BS. First that woman asked, now you? Are you accusing me of stealing a flipping pizza?
"No, sir. It's our policy."
Flip your policy, Bobby. Give me my dang pizza.
C calls our small and adorable manager I'll call Rose. Rose comes up to the front and politely asks the man what's wrong.
I've waited almost an hour for my darn pizza, and those witches have enough nerve to ask me for a darn receipt.
"Sir, please don't use harsh language towards our workers, and asking for a receipt is policy."
I can use whatever language I want to.
It's clear by now the man is possessed or drunk, so I call another manager. Manager I'll call Antonio comes out and joins Rose to figure out the situation. The man continues to cuss us out. "Y'all, we are witches," and he plans to get us fired. He also plans to get Rose and Antonio fired as well. Apparently, we are accusing him of stealing by asking for a receipt. He cussed more vulgarly and loudly. People are covering their children's ears or leaving. The front desk looked dazed. Two guys that were managers of the gift shop and Messi called security. Security shows up and takes over. "Sir, are you a guest of this resort?"
Yeah, what about it?
"Well, we need to verify your identity. Can you show us your ID or room card, please?" Good Lord, it starts all over again. The man refuses and cusses the security out. He calls them fake cops and says they can't actually do anything to him. He's going to get us all fired. The fake cops threaten to call Orange County Police if he doesn't comply.
Call Orange County.
They called Orange County Police. The man was arrested in the middle of the food court. Once the police showed up, he miraculously calms down and shows his room ID. His wife and 8-year-old son were at the pool. A worker had to go get her. She was a blonde woman and pretty. She walked in, looked at him, and walked back outside. She had an expression on her face that said, "I'm done." His face dropped as they walked him out in handcuffs. Due to policy, the whole family had to leave that day with no refund and was banned for life. They had come there to celebrate their son's 8th birthday. Edit: for anyone wondering, the man had a receipt crumpled in his pocket. He had waited for 10 minutes. My guess is he was upset about something else and was just taking it out on the world. I guess that guy just woke up that day and decided to play bad decision bingo. Let's see. Lie about a receipt in a restaurant, cause a scene, get yourself arrested, and ruin your kid's birthday. On top of that wife might be serving him with some special papers. I don't understand why people behave this way. Maybe they're used to bullying and getting away with it, but every so often you finally find that wall, and boy did he hit it hard. On to story 2. Story 2 from Malicious Compliance is titled, Shut My Mouth and Do What I Was Told? Absolutely. When I was in college, I worked as a baker for a well-known regional bagel and sandwich chain. At some point, an assistant manager transferred to my store who was the stereotypical, petty, power-tripping, ridiculous manager you'd find in this type of job. Her specialty was yelling and berating employees in front of customers. I will never not believe that she enjoyed publicly humiliating people. It was tolerable until I agreed to cover a shift at the store she transferred from. Someone there asked me what I thought of her. I thought I was careful as I just commented that she had very high expectations, which were hard for some people to meet. Understatement of the year. Well, this lovely person passed this back to her, which shot me to the top of her crap list. What followed was a series of write-ups for egregious violations like missing some seeds when mopping the floor, or not emptying a garbage can that had a single paper towel in it. Lucky for me, I was one of the few people there certified to run the ovens. My opportunity for malicious compliance came one Saturday lunchtime when a charter bus pulled up. I'd seen this before and knew that a bus full of people buying sandwiches is equivalent to 2 to 3 people bringing bagels to work. Barely a blip compared to a morning rush. I went to the counter to help, and Miss Assistant Manager yells at me to get back into the kitchen and start baking some more. I tried to tell her we were fine, but as soon as I opened my mouth, she yelled, "Shut your mouth! Do what I told you to do and don't stop baking till I say stop!" 2 important things to know is that first, when I took my certification test, they told me I passed it with the second fastest time on record for the local franchise. The second thing is that the ovens were adjustable. You could turn up the heat to speed up the cooking process. I went back to the baking area, cranked up the oven, and baked as fast as I possibly could. The oven had 8 shelves, holding about 48 bagels each. Eventually, I had them all filled up and was only gutted by how fast they could cook. And I could send them up front. Miss Assistant Manager was down at the register the whole time and was not paying attention to the stock levels in the bagel bins. I kept bringing out shelf after shelf. At one point, the bins were overflowing, so I had to start putting them in the extra bins we kept in the back. Once those were full, I started putting them on metal trays. The crowd finally died down, and Miss Assistant Manager finally looks at the bagel bins and realizes she never told me to stop. She asked me if there was anything else baking, and I informed her that every shelf was full. She lost it and started yelling that I was getting fired until multiple people pointed out that I just did exactly what she asked. The store manager ended up coming in and pretty much everyone told them the exact same story. Ms. Assistant Manager had to bag up the mountains of excess bagels and drive them to all the other stores in the area so they wouldn't go to waste. Even after that, we exceeded the allowed wastage for the day, and she was reprimanded. She still yelled at everyone after that, but she was at least more careful with her wording. I'll never understand why so many people treat their employees like that or people around them. These are the kind of people that nobody wants to be around, and then they end up complaining on the internet that they have no friends. Then again, we do see a lot of them in the Reddit comments. When they ask for advice, people give them advice and then they don't like what they hear. Okay, I had fun as usual reading stories to you. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe, telling people about this channel. Hearing this story about this really ridiculous assistant manager inspires me to produce an episode that won't be from Reddit, but it'll be about the time I spent as a customer service representative. So be on the lookout with your eyes and ears for that one. Thanks again. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment for me because I actually like talking to you. We'll see you again at Storytime with Sean. Have a good one.